So I figured since we got new 2A units, I would go over how good I think they will be, and general consensus of what I've seen so far, they're all pretty bad, except a handful of them that might be semi-usable in some content, but RTA wise, I don't think we'll see very many of them. So Sath, his third skill increases the amount of damage all allies and enemies receive from continuous damage by two times. Disturbs HP recovery for 2 turns with a 50% chance, and inflicts continuous damage if you attack an enemy on your turn, and goes up to a 75% chance. So this just does an AoE dots for 2 turns, and that does nothing but give an additional turn if you kill something. So in RTA, it's never going to happen because you're not going to waste 2 slots on him and a Rika. But if you have Rika and him and you do this AoE, it deletes 100% of the enemy's HP if you land every dot. Because Rika does 3 dots for 3 turns. Normally that's 45% of their HP, but since his passive doubles it, it's 90%. And then this adds another dot, so you double that, and then it's already at 100%, and it has an extra dot turn, so it would be 110% total. So for like TOA hard, it might be useful if you still need something to like clear that. But RTA, other PvP, I don't think we'll really see him at all. He might be okay in some dungeons, but everybody runs Trikaru, so it's like, why even bother? He's almost good, except these 2 skills are pretty useless, and he has 91 base speed. But this third skill could have been so good if he was faster. Attacks the enemy target to remove all beneficial effects, decreasing the target's attack speed with freezing chill for 3 turns, and freezes the target for 1 turn. So a strip freeze could have been so good. And it's on a 3-turn cooldown, so it's really low cooldown, and you can cycle and have it up a lot. But 91 base speed is so hard to speed tune to anything. And he's not tanky either, so you wouldn't really be using him as a damage dealer. It'd be more like a support role. But he doesn't have tanky stats to stay alive, and he's super slow. I think if he was like at least 99 to 100, some people might use him, but with him being that slow, it's really hard to speed tune to anything. And Swift isn't an option because he doesn't gain nearly as much benefit to like compete with a Bastet base speed and like strip and freeze her if somebody's trying to cleave you. This just adds dots for 2 turns on all enemies. Wait, is it only... Was it all enemies before? Or is it played to all enemies? Oh, okay, it was. So I mean, I don't know, maybe this and this could be good together. Probably not. Attacks the enemy target with deadly sight to inflict continuous damage for 2 turns with a 50% chance. Requires an additional turn. So that's just another dot. Not that great. Hiva. I don't even remember what it does. Attacks the enemy target 3 times with the Wind of Heaven, absorbs the attack bar by 30% each, and the less HP the target enemy currently has, the larger the damage becomes, and the cool time is removed if the enemy dies. This might be good, depending on how much damage it does. But then again, 91 base speed kind of holds him back. And there's so many other wind damage dealers. You have like Savannah, Sierra, Leo, Ethna, Diana. So it's like, I don't know if people who use him, especially since you have like things like Lucian that have AoE, Shimate that has speed lead. Depending on what the multipliers are, this actually could be decent because it could just like keep getting turns on like a defense broken unit. So maybe not for RTA. And the other thing is, if he absorbs the attack bar every time, that means he has 90% attack bar, and you can kill them with the first skill, and then this skill goes back off cooldown, and you can use it again. So it might be viable in some kind of like slower bruiserish team, but I'm not sure if we'll see him. He might be decent in Siege, or he might be another good option for Giants B12, but I'm not sure. I don't know if people run Tricario in Giants B12 or not, but he could be a good option for that. I realize Prom almost has 1,000 base attack. Brings an inevitable judgment upon all enemies, stunning them and decreasing their defense for one turn. The inflicted damage proportionate to the enemy's max HP. That's not different at all. This one, it's the same. It attacks all enemies. Or wait, no. It didn't decrease the attack bar. Actually, I think that one's way different. Yeah, it used to just always land as a crit. Now, attacks all enemies with a deadly sight to decrease the attack bar by 30% each. Afterwards, stuns the enemy with 30% or to lower HP for one turn. So it's like, this could be good, but again, it's 91 base speed, so it's so hard to tune to something. When you have other AoE defense breakers already, like Savannah and RTA, where you have the Wind Brush Boy, Chung Pong. He has AoE defense break, and he has 150 and 75 extra for no reason. ATB decrease, and he decreases skill cooldowns. It's like, he could be usable, but it's just that 91 base speed makes things so hard to use in PvP. And then this just prevents revive. Yeah, that's all that was added to it. I feel like maybe if they added anti-revive to some of these other skills, he'd be really good, but he would also make, what is it? This one? Who is it that ignore? Oh, it's him. It'd make him super useless. Because all he does is damage, and I thought he attacked both. Draw the dragon attacks all enemies. This attack. Oh, whatever. I thought he attacked both, but I guess. So it's like AoE defense break, but it's only for one turn. And stun, but that's still good. Like, those are two really good, like, setup type debuffs to have. But it's going to be hard to speed tune because 91 base speed and most things you want to speed tune to are going to have higher than that. So you're going to have to slow down everything else just to make him faster. So it might be good, but it's just the base speed holds him back so much. Thrain is the one that we saw in the preview thing. Nothing there. Instantly get a turn, so this one might be some. He could be good, but this is random. I'm pretty sure. It's not like an Oki where it attacks everybody It's just a random stun. So in PvP, it might be good, but there's so many things that can easily cleanse. They're just out sustain, a 2-turn dot, and this. But you would be putting on a lot of continuous damage because you instantly gain a turn. So this is basically on a 2-turn cooldown. It's basically like having a Perna second skill or a Justice from a Dragon Knight. So I mean, overall, they have some decent skills. Like, his passives can be pretty decent. His third skill would be good. His third skill would be good. These two skills together, Judgment and Deadly Swing, could be good. And then the stun with the dots. But the problem is, again, is the 91 base speed. That's really hard to use in PvP. I don't even know if there's... I think 96. 96 might be the slowest unit that's used in PvP, and that's Tiana. That's because she has the most broken third skill ever. I don't think there's anything slower than that. But these guys now. So I don't know how this third skill works, but if it... There's two ways it could work, and if it works one way, it'll be really good. If it works the other way, it's going to be super situationally good. So removes all harmful effects granted on the ally. Attack skill is randomly activated in proportion to the number of harmful effects removed, up to 5 times. And attack has a 75% chance to remove a beneficial effect on the enemy. So it says randomly, but I don't know if that means it randomly goes like 1 to 5 times, but for every harmful effect the odds are more likely, or if it's actually not random, it's based on how many times you remove a beneficial, or how many harmful effects you remove, and for like each one you remove, the number of attacks goes higher. So it kind of depends on if it actually is random or not, of how good this skill will be. So I might 2A this just to find out, because I doubt anybody else is going to, but I might take the bullet and find out. Removes all harmful effects on the target ally and recovers both your HP and the target HP by 25% each. I don't think that's any different. It heals a little bit more. And I think with skill ups it goes up to around a 30% heal. Lulu. Ally with the lowest HP ratio. I'm pretty sure that's the same. Yeah. Then removes all harmful effects on the target ally and grants immunity for 1 turn. In addition, covers both your HP and the target HP by 25%. I think they added immunity. Both your HP. They added 1 turn immunity and gave it a little bit more heal. Now it goes up to like 30%. And it removes all harmful effects of all allies and recovers HP of all allies by 25% each. Grants immunity on the allies who had no harmful effects for 2 turns. And that also goes up to around a 30% heal. Or exactly 30%, I think. So this is probably the 2A that we'll see the most, that people already use, because Lulu was already a good healer before, but now it's like 5 to 10% more heal on everything, and finally has good base stats. I don't know, because it has 10k HP, 714 defense. It had like 8,705.38. So before, Lulu was not tanky at all. It was super squishy, but it had a good kit for healing. Attacks the enemy target and recovers HP. So this is basically a raccooning skill 1, but instead of giving the attack bar to the ally with the lowest attack bar, it gives it to the one that had the lowest HP. So it's pretty decent, but it messes up your speed tuning. So it is, but it isn't. Removes all the harmful effects. That's the same as... Or no, it's not the same. He has heal, dispel. What do you have? Heal. What's the difference? Removes all the harmful effects on the target ally. Oh, this removes them on both you and the target, right? Yeah. So I mean, it's pretty decent healing. 30% heal cleanse on a 2-turn cooldown. That's what makes all these second skills really good. It's a 30% heal cleanse on a 2-turn cooldown. On all of them, I think. Yeah, every single one has a 2-turn cleanse and heal. Attacks the enemy target and recovers the HP of all allies by 50% of the damage dealt. Absorbs the attack bar by 25% to increase the attack bar of all allies. This, I don't know how it'll work, because it says absorbs the target's attack bar by 25% to increase the attack bar of all allies. So to me, that sounds like if it gets resisted, you're not getting attack bar. So it's a really bad attack bar booster. And it only has 99 base speed. So it's not like a reliable ATB booster because it's on the slower end of them. It's the same speed as Bastet. So like if you're facing a Cleave and a Bastet doesn't have Will, then it's kind of up to who has the better runes. But Bastet also has a resistance awakening, so if you do get resisted and it doesn't increase the attack bar, you're kind of screwed, and you're just kind of wasting a monster slot at that point. And also the first part attacks the enemy target and recovers the HP of all allies by 50% of the damage dealt. He has 626 base attack, so I don't think he's going to be doing very much damage. So this skill is just all kinds of random nonsense that I don't know if it'll be any good at all. Shoo. Nothing changed on the first skill. Nothing changed on the second skill, it just heals more. Recovers the HP of all allies by 25% each, and recovers the ally with the lowest HP by 50% one more time. Grants immunity on the allies with full HP for 2 turns. And the recovery, I think the one with the lowest HP gets about 80% heal with the skill up on it. So this is decent, but I don't really like situational immunity, and we already have a situational immunity unit in her with the same cooldown, but she adds a shield too, and her immunity goes on with half or more HP. So it's like, I think Shushu probably heals more. I'm pretty sure Shushu heals more, but it's like not that good because it's only one that gets the big heal. And say it's like you're trying to recover from a cleave, you're not going to get the immunity after, it's just a heal. There's so many other units that have a full heal that you could use instead. So, and they didn't change these at all. So it's basically just like using a base Howl that heals a little bit more. It's decent, but I don't see anyone using or building it for anything except maybe a light tank in Siege if you need that. I don't know, because it does have decent base stats for HP and defense, but I don't ever see it being used in RTA. This one is the one that I'm building first because I think it's the most interesting. Attacks the enemy target, recovers the HP of the ally with the lowest HP ratio by 15%, and creates a shield proportional to the amount of damage dealt for 2 turns. That doesn't sound good, but when I get to its 3rd skill it might be. That's covers or a 2-turn cooldown cleanse and heals the target HP by 25%. Pretty decent. And then there's this. Attacks the enemy target to inflict damage, deals the beneficial effects on the enemy, and transfers the harmful effects granted on yourself. In addition, you and the target's attack power, excluding the boss, will be switched while the skill is on cooldown, if the target's attack power is higher than yours. So, basically, you just build this thing with no attack. So, 659, not that high of base attack. Most of the things that you're going to be facing in RTA that you want to swap attack with have higher attack power. So like Daphnis, 834. Masha has 801. What else? Rocky, 856. What else do you see? Rauk on occasions, 801. Oki, 769, even though you probably won't be swapping with that. Barbara, where's Barbara? Barbara is 845. Not really any other water damage dealers. 845. You can swap with her. It's about the same, but she'll have attack investment. You can swap with Sierra. Bombs will literally do no damage. You can swap with a Leo. Leos usually have really high attack. Swap with Ethna. So I feel like being able to swap attack powers with a unit will be extremely useful, and it kind of takes their damage dealer out of the equation for, what is it, 4 turns? And then when the skill comes back up, if you don't need to strip another target, you can just swap attack powers again. And I'm pretty sure this will work like how the Dark Lightning Emperor's skill works, where it's the stat steal is irresistible. So when you have the 5 knowledge and you like take their stats away and you take them, I'm pretty sure it will work just like that. So I think it'll be, I don't know if people will use this, but I'll definitely use this because it's taking a damage dealer almost entirely out of the equation. And you're also putting a shield on one of your allies every time you use this, because your attack power is higher, so you're going to be dealing more damage, and you don't have to invest in attack at all. You could just go like I don't know how much damage it'll do, but you could do like a crit rate slot 4, or maybe even crit damage, but probably not. But you could do crit rate slot 4, get decent damage out of it, put a shield on your ally, and heal them, because now you have their attack. And you just put 0 attack investment in this guy, except your slot 1. It might be the first time ever that you benefit from not having your attack slot 1 maxed. So, out of all the 2A units, he's the one I'm most excited for. And I'm building him right now and definitely going to try him out. But other than that, overall, I mean, the Grim Reapers have some decent skills, but the base speed is kind of off-putting to me. And then these guys are mostly just healers. They're not really that exciting or fun to use or bring anything new and interesting, really, except Chacha. So it's like, overall, after 8 months, it's like pretty disappointing what we got. But I also feel like after they created this and created Vigor, they're like, we can't fuck up again. We gotta we gotta tone down the 2As a bit. But the biggest problem with these is they both awaken into speed. Like, every cat, I guess, what? What is she awaken into? Wow, is she the only one? Okay, she awakens the crit rate, right? Oh, okay. Well, that's why you don't see these two cats, because instead of having 119 base speed, they have extra resistance. But every werewolf awakens into speed. 3 of the cats awaken into speed. That's why these two are so good. And Miho's passive is just RNG. So I kind of wish 2As did something to tweak these guys' speed. But overall, either way, kind of disappointing 2A units. So I hope the next ones are better to give us something to kind of spice up the PvP meta. But for now, this is the only one that Chacha and Lulu, probably the only ones that I really think are worth it for PvP. These guys maybe for PvE. I might try him though, because this seems interesting. It just, for most people, it's like, why bother when we have so many wind damage dealers already? But I guess that's it. Oh, I did get, where is he? I did get this guy, so I'm gonna start playing with him. But other than that, I think that's all. So I'm out.